friends, welcome back to my channel. We're back in the workshop today, just a simple wood project. And what we're going to do is create this string organizer. I'm going to take this old frame that we no longer use. We created, my husband and I built this. And this is a watercolor I made for him out of a photo, and it's in San Angelo, Texas, and that's where he was born. We no longer have a spot for this, so I'm just going to deconstruct this frame to make the string organizer. So follow along today. If this is something that you would be interested in making, it should be an easy build. These have miter corners. We're going to square those off, and then we'll need an inner frame. This picture shows an inner frame. And then I took some dowels. I think these dowels are 3/8 inch. And then I needed a way to hook them to the side. So I have these old square head nails. I drilled a hole in the dowel and I put the square head nails in there. I did glue them, and then I just put an antiquing glaze on the dowel, and then those will hang like this and hold my string. And another reason we need to square this off, these will flip the other way, so it'll be on the outside, so we may need to stain the back as well, but we're going to have to deconstruct and pull out all the staples. But I think it should be a fun project, and I need a place in my craft room to hang my string. This is showing even a little roll of paper. I picked these up a long time ago. I believe I got them on Amazon. But I used them in my antique shop, and they go right into the wall. It's just like a tack. And we're going to put those on the side. And then that will hold the dowels. So that's our project for today. I'm going to deconstruct this frame and square off the boards, and then I'll come back. And I remembered after taking out the staples that I did use my nail gun to put these together. So before I saw, I'm going to pull out those nails. And to do that, to pull out the nails, I'm just going to use this tool. And it works pretty slick. You can see how brittle this wood is. It's old barn wood, and it's very, very dry. And it looks like I used the longest nails in my arsenal. That'll be a lesson. Done. Now I'm just going to trim the boards straight on my miter saw. cutting done. Everything is even, and I will stain everything in the end that needs staining. So it will go like this. I'll probably put it like this. And we have a new kind of frame. And then hopefully I measured these correctly. Yep, that should work. So what we need to do is get this squared up. And I think I'll glue it up and use my nail gun to put it in place. And then the next part is we'll have to come to the wood pile and insert our inner frame. And I think I have enough pieces for that over here. We'll just use some of those. They're already sanded up and ready to be stained. Here's another one. So we'll be able to lighten the load on the wood pile. So let's get these glued up. And I'm not really worried about these little cracks and such. I think it adds to the piece, because then I can remember that at one time I made a frame. So I'm not really worried about that. Like I said, I'm not worried about the bevels that I made previously, because it will remind me of when I built this frame. And it's reusing the wood, and I think it just adds character. Alright, now we've got that clamped, and I can put a few nails in there. Alright, we have the outer frame, and now we need to cut the pieces for the inner frame. It looks like the tall piece is going to be 17 3/8. So I'll go ahead and cut those. Alright, so we cut the two inside pieces, the long ones, and it's going to look like that. Oops, sorry about that. And I am going to use my nail gun to nail those in place. Alright, so that's one side. We can pull this off. We'll get that other side done. The next step is to get the inside short boards. And that is going to be Looks like 11 1/8. So I'll get those measured up and cut, and we'll put those in place. All right, so the next step, if I cut these correctly, is to place these in here. All right, so that one fits really nice. And that'll just sit in like that. And all I'm using are scrap pieces of wood. I would encourage you to, if you're not building things, you don't need all the fancy power tools and stuff. There's miter boxes, and there's all kinds of tools that you can use to get you started. So please, if I can do it, anybody can do it. It doesn't look like much yet, but when I come back, we'll stain this up. But you can see how we did the inner frame. And those are just small pieces of board. So just use up what you have. But I am going to let this glue dry, and then we'll come back and stain. All right, we are ready to stain our piece. We've got all the pieces in here. We've got the frame, the inner pieces. So we'll go ahead and stain this. Just using my normal concoction. I use the walnut, dark walnut tint. I use antiquing wax and a little bit of black chalk paint. And that is my stain. And I just keep adding to it, and then I water it down. I like it because it gives it that rustic, primitive look. And it dries really fast. And I did do a sanding all around the piece as well. Alright, we'll let this dry. After it dries, we'll attach all of the hardware, and then I'll give you a sneak peek of how I am going to use this. Alright, everything is dry on our frame, and as you can see, this is just a simple frame. I do have a video on how I make these. So this frame ended up being 18.5 inches by 14 inches. And now we're ready to install the hardware. And it looks like this. And this is what our dowels are going to hang from for our string. And I did make marks. I'm going every 3 inches. And then I'm just going to line this up on the 3-inch mark. All right, we have one side done. We'll go ahead and do the other side. Gotta make sure that I'm getting it right on the mark. Yep. Yeah, make sure you're going the right way. and then one more, so you need a total of 10. And this is what it will look like. And then we're going to hang the dowels on here for our string. And then if you need string, you just take it off. And there's just a few more touches to add. In this picture was a hook. So I just bent out this old hook that came out of a house. And then I'm just going to screw it in the top here. I did pre-drill this. It's just going to go like that. Actually, I think that that will be too big. So we'll save this for another project. I do have another hook that I can use. Alright, I found this antique-y looking hook. So we'll go ahead and use that. I think that'll be perfect for that. And then in the picture was this little emblem here. So I have this jewelry piece that I'm going to be putting at the top, just to add a little decor. And I believe, so we need this at 7. I want to make sure that that's going the right way as well. I'm just going to pre-drill a couple holes here because I don't want my wood to split. To put that little emblem in. Alright, we'll attach this emblem. Look what I found. Some little rusty screws. That'll be perfect. No one's going to see them, but I'll know they're there. And that's what it looks like on the back. That's where I attach the emblem. How cute is that? And then what we will do, we'll attach our dowels. Like this. I love it. All I have to do is attach something to the back, some hangers to hang it, and I'll be back to show you the hangers I used, and then I'll show you how we put the string and the yarn on. I'll be right back. All right, I've got the hangers on the back. I've got 2 of them. So all I need to do is make a template so that I know where to drill the holes in my wall. And I will show you once I get it hung. I'm so excited. I think it turned out wonderful. So I drilled a couple holes here, and I put in the, I used these anchors, and then I drilled in the holes. And here I took something out, so I need to do some spackling later. And here we go. Hopefully I measured everything correctly. This will be the perfect addition for my sewing room. And we'll put these here. And there you have it, a place for all your string. I probably could have raised this a little and then had a little more space in between, but I have my little scissors up here so I can cut the string. I can put something up here, and I really like that. Overall, I really love how it turned out, and it's just as I envisioned it. And it's up here nice and sturdy, and if I need to get string off, I can just lift it off. I think this turned out great, and it just goes to show, with a little determination and a little inspiration, you can pretty much create anything that you see. This was all reclaimed wood. And you saw how I just kind of put it together. And then these I've had for a long time, but I will see if I can find those for you. And these were all old nails from an old house. And then I just drilled the tips of some dowels that I had left over and just threw it together. And I couldn't be more pleased. It's just like the magazine page. Let me know in the comments what you think. And as always, I really appreciate you watching my videos, commenting. And until the next time, God bless.